In this video, we will be diving into the world of Bitcoin Core, the reference implementation of the Bitcoin protocol. Bitcoin Core is the original Bitcoin software created by Satoshi Nakamoto and is still the most widely used and trusted implementation of the protocol. It is an open source software project that is developed and maintained by a community of volunteer developers. It is available for download on the official Bitcoin website, and it can be run on various operating systems, including Windows, Mac, and Linux. The main function of Bitcoin Core is to validate and relay transactions on the Bitcoin network. It does this by maintaining a copy of the entire Bitcoin blockchain, which is a public ledger of all Bitcoin transactions that have ever taken place. By keeping a copy of the blockchain, Bitcoin Core can verify the validity of new transactions and add them to the blockchain. Bitcoin Core also has several other features that make it an essential tool for anyone interested in using or developing Bitcoin applications. These include wallet functionality, mining support, network communication, and API access. To run Bitcoin Core, users need to have a computer with a powerful processor and enough storage to hold the entire blockchain. Additionally, users will need a stable internet connection and enough bandwidth to download and upload the blockchain. Once Bitcoin Core is installed, it will automatically begin downloading the blockchain from other nodes on the network. This process can take several days to complete, depending on the speed of the user's internet connection. Once the blockchain is fully downloaded, Bitcoin Core will be fully operational and ready to use. It's important to note that running a Bitcoin Core node is not a requirement for using Bitcoin, but it is a way to contribute to the network's security and decentralization. By running a node, users can validate their own transactions and help to keep the network running smoothly. The first step in setting up a Bitcoin development environment is to download and install the reference implementation of the Bitcoin protocol, called Bitcoin Core. To download Bitcoin Core, visit the official website at bitcoin.org and click on the download button. Download the version that is compatible with your system, and install Bitcoin Core following the instructions provided. After installing Bitcoin Core, it is important to configure it correctly to ensure it runs smoothly and securely. The Bitcoin Core reference implementation is a widely used, open source software for running a Bitcoin node and maintaining a copy of the blockchain. It includes features such as a built-in wallet, mining support, network communication, and an API for developers. Setting up a development environment for Bitcoin Core involves installing dependencies, cloning the source code from GitHub, running the configure script, and compiling the code. Alternative implementations, such as Bitcoin ABC and Bitcoin XT, also exist but may have different features and capabilities. Running a Bitcoin Core node is not necessary for using Bitcoin but is a way to contribute to the network's security and decentralization. Bitcoin protocol and is considered to be the most secure and stable version of the software. It is an open source software project that is developed and maintained by a community of volunteer developers. It is used to validate and relay transactions on the Bitcoin network by maintaining a copy of the entire Bitcoin blockchain. To run Bitcoin Core, users need a computer with a powerful processor and enough storage to hold the blockchain, as well as a stable internet connection. To set up a development environment, users need to download and install Bitcoin Core, configure it, and run it. Users also need a set of tools and libraries to interact with the Bitcoin network, including the Bitcoin Command Line Interface, CLI, and the Bitcoin JSON RPC library. Alternative implementations of the Bitcoin protocol also exist and may have different features and capabilities. When building Bitcoin Core from source code, users can customize the build with options such as specifying the version of Berkeley DB, disabling the built-in wallet, building the graphical user interface, and enabling debug mode. Before running a node, it is necessary to properly set up your data directory, which is where all of the blockchain data and configuration files will be stored. This includes creating a bitcoin.conference file with any desired configuration settings, such as the maximum number of connections to the network. Once the data directory is set up, you can start the Bitcoin Core node by running the Bitcoin or Bitcoin Qt executable. This will begin the initial synchronization process, where the node will download and validate the entire blockchain. This process can take several days to complete, depending on the speed of your internet connection and the resources of your system. Once the synchronization is complete, your node will be fully functional and ready to participate in the network. It is important to keep the node running and updated to ensure that it remains in sync with the rest of the network and continues to provide a valuable contribution to the network's security and decentralization. In addition to running a full node, there are other ways to contribute to the Bitcoin network. For example, you can also participate in the network by running a mining node, which helps to secure the network by verifying transactions and adding new blocks to the blockchain. Another way to contribute is by developing or contributing to open-source Bitcoin software. Overall, running a Bitcoin Core node is a complex process that requires a certain level of technical expertise. However, the benefits of supporting the network and having a direct view of the blockchain make it a worthwhile endeavor for those interested in the inner workings of the Bitcoin protocol. Bitcoin Qt is the original Bitcoin client and it builds the backbone of the network. It is a full-featured client that can be used as a server, and it is the reference implementation of the Bitcoin protocol. Bitcoin Qt is available for Windows, Mac, and Linux. To install Bitcoin Qt, download the installer package from the Bitcoin website and run it. The installation process is straightforward and it will install the Bitcoin Qt executable in the Applications folder of your operating system. Once Bitcoin Qt is installed, launch it. The first time you run Bitcoin Qt, it will begin to download the blockchain. The blockchain is a distributed database that contains all transactions ever made on the Bitcoin network. This process can take several hours, depending on your connection speed and the power of your computer. Once the blockchain is downloaded, you will be asked to set a password for your wallet. This password is used to encrypt your wallet and protect it from unauthorized access. Make sure you choose a strong password and remember it, as there is no way to recover a forgotten password. Bitcoin Qt also has a built-in console that allows you to interact with the Bitcoin network using command line commands. To open the console, go to Help and select Debug window. Bitcoin Qt is a powerful client that provides a lot of features and options. However, it can be resource intensive and it may not be suitable for low-end computers. In this case, you can install and use a lightweight client such as Bitcoin Qt, which uses less resources and is faster. Installing and configuring Bitcoin is another option. It is a command line client that can be used as a server. It is a full-featured client that can be used as a server, and it is the reference implementation of the Bitcoin protocol. Bitcoin is available for Windows, Mac, and Linux. To install Bitcoin, download the binary package from the Bitcoin website and extract it. Once the package is extracted, open a terminal window and navigate to the extracted folder. Alternative clients, libraries, and toolkits are also available in the Bitcoin ecosystem. These are implemented in a variety of programming languages, offering programmers native interfaces in their preferred language. Some of the best libraries, clients, and toolkits in C++ include Bitcoin Core, LibBitcoin, Bitcoin Explorer, and BTCD. For Python, popular options include Python Bitcoin Lib and PyBitcoinTools. In Java, Bitcoinj is a popular library. In addition to these, there are also libraries and toolkits available in other languages such as Go, JavaScript, Ruby, and Rust. It is important to do research and choose the option that best fits your needs and skill set. In addition to using the Bitcoin CLI command line tool, developers can also use libraries and toolkits to interact with the Bitcoin network through the JSON RPC API. These libraries and toolkits are available for a variety of programming languages, such as Python, Java, and C#. For example, a Python developer can use the Python Bitcoin RPC library to connect to a running Bitcoin Core node and interact with the JSON RPC API. Similarly, a Java developer can use the Bitcoinj library to interact with the Bitcoin network through the JSON RPC API. Using these libraries and toolkits, developers can easily create their own software applications that can interact with the Bitcoin network and perform tasks such as sending and receiving Bitcoins, managing wallets, and retrieving information about the blockchain. It's worth noting that while the JSON RPC API is a powerful tool for developers, it also poses security risks if not properly secured. It's important to take measures such as setting up secure authentication and limiting access to the API to trusted sources to ensure the security of the system. In conclusion, the JSON RPC API provided by Bitcoin Core is a powerful tool for developers to interact with the Bitcoin network and create their own software applications. By using libraries and toolkits, developers can easily access the API in their preferred programming language. However, proper security measures should be implemented to ensure the safe use of the API.